Chosen one, stop. Listen carefully, this is not a coincidence. If you are watching this, it means God is speaking to you right now. What I am about to tell you may shock you, but it is a message directly from heaven. If you don't stop now, your spiritual death is near. Have you felt it? That constant battle inside of you. The feeling that no matter how much you try, something is holding you back, stealing your energy and keeping you in cycles of regret? This is not just your struggle, it is an attack designed to keep you weak, lost, and disconnected from your divine mission. But today the deception ends. Today you will see what has been secretly working against you, and how to break free once and for all. Before we continue, I need you to take action. Heavy check mark like this video if you are ready to receive this message. Heavy check mark subscribe because this is only the beginning of your awakening. Heavy check mark comment if you are ready to reclaim your divine strength. Now listen closely because what I am about to reveal will change everything. You feel it, don't you? The inner struggle. The constant pull between righteousness and temptation. The voice in your heart whispering that something is off. This is not just your mind playing tricks on you. This is a spiritual battle, a war for your soul. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you are in the middle of it. Many of the chosen ones have unknowingly been walking towards spiritual death, distracted by temptations that seem small but are, in reality, deadly. God has sent this message as a warning, a final call before it's too late. He is telling you, if you do not stop, you will lose everything. Lust is not just a desire, it is a weapon formed against you. It appears harmless, disguised as pleasure, but the moment you surrender to it, it begins to work in secret, draining your spiritual energy, clouding your judgment, and weakening your connection with God. The fire inside you that once burned with passion for your purpose starts to fade. But now you see it for what it really is. This is not just a habit, it's a trap. And once you recognize the chains holding you back, you gain the power to break them. God is not just warning you, He is offering you a way out. But will you take it? Lust is not what you think it is. It is not just a fleeting desire or a natural urge. It is a carefully designed spiritual weapon. A silent thief, stealing from you in ways you do not even realize. At first it feels harmless, a moment of pleasure, a temporary escape. But soon it begins to take more than it gives. It drains your spiritual energy, clouds your judgment, and weakens your connection with God. The same fire that once burned for your divine purpose slowly starts to flicker and die. Imagine a warrior in battle. But instead of holding his sword high, he is distracted, looking at something on the ground, unaware that the enemy is creeping closer. That is exactly what lust does. It keeps you distracted long enough for the enemy to strike. But here's what they won't tell you. Lust is never satisfied. It promises fulfillment but delivers emptiness. It offers excitement but leaves you feeling drained. The more you give in, the weaker you become. And before you know it, you are lost in a cycle of indulgence and regret, wondering why your spiritual life feels empty. But now you have a choice. You can either continue down this path of slow destruction, or you can rise up, reclaim your energy, and break free. But first, you need to understand the true cost of indulging in temptation. Every action has a cost. Every time you indulge in lust, you are trading something sacred for something temporary. You may not see it immediately, but over time, the effects become undeniable. Lust takes more than just your purity, it steals your focus, your discipline, your spiritual strength. It replaces clarity with confusion, confidence with shame, and divine connection with emptiness. It is like pouring water into a cracked jar. No matter how much you fill it, it will always leak. Think about this. How many dreams have been abandoned because of distraction? How many destinies have been delayed because of indulgence? How many chosen ones have lost their way not because they lacked faith but because they lacked control? The moment you surrender to lust, you weaken your ability to walk in divine favor. Blessings that were meant for you become delayed. Opportunities that were supposed to elevate you slip through your fingers. You begin to feel restless, disconnected, like something is missing, but you can't quite figure out what. But now you know. You see what is happening. And the good news is that what has been taken from you can be restored. The power you lost, the discipline that faded, the clarity that became clouded, it is not gone forever. You can reclaim everything, but only if you are willing to make a change. There is a power that only a few ever discover. A secret that the greatest spiritual warriors and prophets knew. A force that separates the weak from the strong, the lost from the enlightened. And that power is abstinence. Abstinence is not restriction, it is liberation. It is the conscious choice to protect your spiritual energy, mental clarity, and divine strength. It is the decision to stop allowing temporary pleasures to dictate your destiny. Look at the greatest leaders in history. They were not slaves to their desires, they mastered them. They knew that every moment wasted on indulgence was a moment stolen from their purpose. They understood that abstinence was not just about avoiding temptation, it was about unlocking a higher level of existence. If you have ever felt weak, lost, or disconnected, ask yourself, where is your energy going? Are you pouring it into distractions, or are you investing it in your divine purpose? Your spirit craves power, but power cannot exist where there is no discipline. And here is the truth, the more you practice abstinence, the more powerful you become. Your mind sharpens, your energy rises, your connection with God deepens. You begin to walk with a confidence and authority that the world cannot shake. But the question is, are you willing to pay the price for true strength? Temptation is not just a test, it is a battle. And every battle requires a strategy. If you walk into a fight unprepared, you will lose. But if you know your enemy's tactics, you can defeat him before he even gets close. The truth is, lust does not have real power over you, it only has the power you give it. It thrives on secrecy, impulse, and lack of control. But the moment you expose it, the moment you take control, its grip on you weakens. So how do you win? By shifting your focus. You do not overcome temptation by simply resisting it, you overcome it by replacing it. Fill your life with purpose and distractions will lose their power. When lust calls, answer with prayer. When temptation rises, counter it with action. Exercise, study, create, serve others. Redirect your energy into something greater. Think about it, what do all great warriors have in common? Discipline. They do not act based on feelings, they act based on purpose. And you must do the same. Because every time you say no to temptation, you are saying yes to your divine mission. But remember, this is not just about fighting against something, it is about fighting for something. Every moment of resistance brings you closer to spiritual mastery. The battle is already yours to win, but will you fight for it? You have been lied to. Society has convinced you that lust is normal, that indulgence is freedom, that discipline is unnecessary. But look at the world around you, does it look free? Or does it look broken, lost, and enslaved by its own desires? What the world calls pleasure is often just a beautifully packaged trap. The more you chase it, the more you crave it, yet the emptier you feel. It promises fulfillment but delivers exhaustion. It promises love but leads to loneliness. Keeps you running in circles, always searching but never finding peace. But here is the truth, you were never meant to follow the world, you were meant to lead. You were set apart, called for something greater. And once you see the deception for what it truly is, you can no longer be controlled by it. Ask yourself, who benefits when you are weak? Who profits when you are too distracted to fulfill your divine mission? The enemy does not fear those who are physically strong, but he trembles before those who are spiritually unshakable. Now that you know the truth, you have a choice. You can continue being manipulated by the world's lies, or you can break free and step fully into your divine calling. The question is, will you wake up? The world has taught you that love is found in physical pleasure, that the stronger the desire, the deeper the connection. But this is one of the greatest deceptions. True love is not rooted in the body, it is rooted in the soul. It is not about momentary passion, but about a divine bond that transcends time. It is not about taking, it is about giving, growing, and aligning with a purpose greater than yourself. Many chosen ones have spent their lives searching for the right person, only to find disappointment, heartbreak, and emptiness. Why? Because they were looking in the wrong places. Love built on lust will always fade, but love built on spiritual alignment will last forever. Think of the greatest relationships in history, the ones that changed the world. They were not driven by shallow attraction but by shared purpose, discipline, and divine calling. When two people come together under God's plan, they do not distract each other from their mission, they strengthen each other in it. So if you truly seek love, do not look for it in pleasure, look for it in purpose. When you commit to your divine path, the right person will recognize your strength, your clarity, and your discipline. They will not pull you away from your mission, they will walk beside you in it. But first, you must become the person you were meant to be. Love that is built on spiritual alignment is unshakable. It does not fade, it multiplies. The question is, are you willing to wait for something real? You've been trapped for too long. The cycle of temptation, indulgence, and regret has kept you bound in spiritual chains, but now is the time to break free. God is not just calling you, He is empowering you. The enemy wants you to believe that you cannot change, that you will always fall back into the same patterns. But that is a lie. The moment you recognize your divine purpose, you step into a new level of spiritual authority. You are not weak. You are not a slave to your desires. You are a warrior chosen for something greater. But breaking free is not just about saying no to temptation. It is about saying yes to your higher calling. When you fix your eyes on purpose, the distractions lose their power. When you fill your life with God's mission, the cravings fade. You do not need to fight lust. You need to outgrow it. So start today. Change what you consume. Change what you focus on. Change how you use your energy. Wake up each morning with intention, fill your mind with wisdom, and surround yourself with people who uplift your spirit. The chains are already breaking. You just need to walk away from them. God has given you the power to break free, but He will not force you. You must choose. Will you stay bound by what has kept you weak, or will you rise into the fullness of who you were meant to be? This is it. The moment where everything becomes clear. God has already decided your fate, but you still have a choice. You are standing at the edge of a decision that will determine your future. One path leads to divine power, the other to spiritual destruction. Which will you choose? There is no more time for hesitation. Every second you remain in the cycle of temptation, you lose a part of your divine mission. Every indulgence steals your strength. Every distraction pulls you further from your purpose. And the enemy is counting on you to stay blind. But now you see. Now you know the truth. The chains that have bound you are breaking. The lies that have held you back are losing their power. God is calling you not just to walk away from lust, but to walk into a life of spiritual abundance, clarity, and strength. This is your final warning, your awakening moment. Will you let this message change you, or will you turn away and continue down the path of destruction? Take action right now. Pray. Surrender. Commit yourself fully to the path of righteousness. Declare that you will no longer be controlled by the forces that have weakened you. Stand in your divine authority and claim the future that God has prepared for you. Because after today you will never be the same again. Chosen one, now you know the truth. You have seen the trap that has been set before you, and you have been given the key to break free. The question is, what will you do next? This is not just another message. This is your wake-up call. God has given you the strength to rise above temptation, to reclaim your divine power, and to walk boldly in your spiritual mission. But knowledge without action is meaningless. Now is the time to step forward. You were not born to live in weakness. You were created for something greater. A life of power, clarity, abundance, and divine purpose awaits you, but only if you make the choice to walk the path of righteousness. Are you ready to claim what has always been yours? If this message spoke to you, declare it right now. Type "I choose purpose" in the comments. Let the world know that you are stepping into your true calling. Like this video as a sign of commitment, and subscribe to continue this journey towards spiritual transformation. Your future starts now. Your destiny is waiting. The only question left is, will you answer the call?